Why do they do this to me? Why do they do this to us? Pulling the strings, making us get nervous, freaking out at the end of the games, cardiac cats, hurting hairlines, killing folks with heart attacks. That is the Detroit Lions, and this video is Detroit Lions News Overreaction Monday. And in this video, we're going to talk about 5 overreactions. We're going to talk about Matt Patricia's job status. DeAndre Swift must play more. The defensive line actually has a little bit of life in it. The Detroit Lions playoff chances, playoffs, and Lions are a good team. We shall see. Understand this is an overreaction video, and we're talking about everything that is taking place regarding the fan base and the media. And this is where I kind of break it down and give you my perspective. Now, the Detroit Lions got to win, but we have to continue to win for this team to go forward. Hit that like button, because if you hit that like button, the video gets out via YouTube algorithm and more people can see the breakdown video of the Lions versus Panthers on Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern time. Hit that like button and let's make this thing go viral. Let's talk about the overreactions here. Matt Patricia's job status. Folks, after this win, his job is now safe for the remainder of the season. This was a big game for Matt Patricia, and since he pulled out the W, no matter what happens the rest of the year, in my opinion, he is safe until Black Monday. Getting that win over Washington and going from 3 potentially to 6 to 4-5 is a big deal. 1 game under 500. This was a ugly game, and it was ugly all the way around because the Lions had such a big lead and nearly lost it. When it comes to his status, though, this guy, just because he won, doesn't make him a great coach. His record overall is now 14-26-1. He needs to continue to win. This was a 2-win football team. He had to win this game. You cannot go 0-4 at home and lose to a 2-win football team, in which nearly we did. Nearly we did. But his job status now, in my opinion, is good until the end of the year. And for people like me who feels like he is a net negative to the team, it is a spike and punch to the gut. But the Lions got to victory, and that's always good for them attempting to make a run, because they got to win football games, and they did it the first time without Kenny Galladay, and that really helped the job status of Mr. Matt Patricia. Folks, an ad is about to take place, and while this ad takes place, I know it's annoying. Comment, though. Take the time to make a comment. Do you believe the Detroit Lions can sneak into the playoffs? I'm curious, because out of a record of 4-5, they're 1 from 500. They have a couple games coming up, and if they win them, they have a chance to sneak in. Let me know in the comment section while this ad is taking place. Just take a minute, throw it in there. If I like the comment that you guys make in there, I may feature your comment in my next video. Keep that in mind. DeAndre Swift. We need to talk about Swift here, and Swift must be on the field and play more. Stop being cute with DeAndre Swift. He is clearly a difference maker for this football team. This concept of splitting carries with Adrian Peterson needs to be cut out of this game, scheme, and plan immediately. He is the best running back on the field. He is making defenses actually pay attention to the running game, in which we haven't seen in forever. If they don't play Swift more, we lose football games. When you play Swift more, you win football games. What needs to be done for Darrell Bevell and Matt Patricia to realize, play this guy more? Every time he does well, the Lions win. Period. He's a difference maker. And when you have a running back who actually makes the safety bite, actually makes the defense come forward, guess what happened, folks? You get open receivers like Marvin Jones did. That was a direct evident due to the fact of DeAndre Swift on the field with 16 carries. He easily could have got 100 yards if they stopped giving the ball to Adrian Peterson. We need to run him more. They need to get it through their thick skulls that DeAndre Swift is a special player. He's good regarding the pass game because Stafford can throw him the ball out of the backfield. He can be utilized somewhat of a slot receiver if need be. And he's very good in the backfield. He finds the holes and hits them. And we've seen it. He can take a hit and continue to run. He doesn't get tackled immediately from the first contact of a linebacker or defensive lineman. He gets past them. That's what you need. You need that. And the Lions showed that Swift showed he needs to be the feature back, continue to utilize his skills, and maybe the Lions can win some more. Let's go ahead and now talk about the defensive line. And I've been dogging this defensive line for a long time regarding getting pressure on the quarterback, that they cannot get after the quarterback, and they've thrown a lot that they can't. However, there's two individuals that is making an impact right away, and it was a good trade by Bob Quinn, and that was getting Everson Griffin. He made an immediate impact in this game. He was getting pressure on Alex Smith. He was really showing that he can be a value aspect to this team with only giving up a conditional sixth. That is a good trade. And it's only been, a week and a half of practice, and he's done a fine job immediately. And with the evidence of Trey Flowers going to IR, it was absolutely good to have a presence on that line to get after it. And same with ROMERO OKWARA, who's really doing a good job as well. The defensive line is still in that negative. It's still bad. It needs to still get after the quarterback, but it is a good sign that there is life upon this defensive line with those two individuals. If Everson Griffin can continue to grow, learn the scheme, hey, there is life on this defensive line, and if you can get pressure on the quarterback, you do have a chance. So shout out to Everson Griffin for really learning quickly and making an immediate impact, as well as ROMERO OKWARA, the unspoken hero, getting the sacks, getting after the quarterback, and more importantly than sacks, folks, it's getting pressure, and that's something that you need, making the quarterback not feel they're comfortable in the pocket. They have a long way to go. The defensive line is still bad. They still have a lot of issues, but there is a sign of life, specifically due to those two individuals on the defensive line. And as a Lions fan, as somebody who understands the concept of the trenches, and that's how you win meaningful football games, is through the defensive line, that is at least a positive aspect. You can look at that. Folks, again, there's going to be another ad taking place, and I know it's annoying. It is annoying. No one wants to hear ads all the time. I totally get it and understand, but you must understand, Micro Mike needs to pay the bills around here, and guess what? You get paid with ads. That's why I have them. So while this is taking place, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on the content that I drop. I drop a lot of videos, whether it be breaking news, whether it be a timed video, whether it be live streams or live watch parties. If you hit that notification bell, you won't miss out. So smash it while this ad's taking place, and then get back to the video. The Detroit Lions have a chance at the playoffs. To me, this is still a little bit of an overreaction. Folks, we just barely snuck a win against a 2-win football team. That is nothing to hang your hat on. We were up 24-3, and they came back and tied it, and we won it with the last second field goal. You can't be doing that at home against a bad football team. That's unacceptable. You really need to show out and be better than that. If you're a playoff contending team, that shouldn't have been a close game. You should have never allowed them to come back, in my opinion. They got the win. That is good. But they need to prove it on the field more. You got to dominate teams that are 2 wins if you're a playoff football team. You can't let Alex Smith, who hasn't played since 2018 as a starter, come back out of nowhere with 3 touchdowns. That's unacceptable. You can't do that. And the schemes have a lot of issues. There's really issues with offensively the schemes, with player usage, such as using AP over Swift, and the linebacking core with the defense. There's a lot of issues. And if you want to be a playoff contender to win in December, you must shore up those net negatives that's taking place on the field. They got to prove it. You got to beat the Carolina Panthers, and you got to beat the Houston Texans to actually have a winning record. We'll see upcoming forward. Again, they got 2 games coming up fairly quickly. And we'll see if they can take that next step. Maybe Kenny Galladay gets back. Trey Flowers will come back possibly after IR, after Thanksgiving Day game, and maybe they can make that step. But right now, I say that is an overreaction. Let's keep the Kool-Aid flowing down just a tad bit. Another overreaction, again, is that the Detroit Lions are a good football team. That's an overreaction. Why is this overreaction? Well, I could talk about a lot of issues that are taking place for this team. TJ Hawkinson is not being utilized as he should be. Okay, this guy's the 8th overall pick, and he continues to not get targets. That's unacceptable. You cannot get a guy with the 8th pick and get 2 receptions against a bad football team, and while your main weapon, Kenny Galladay, is not on the field. He needs to get more. That's an issue because he's a red zone target for the Detroit Lions. That's a scheme issue by Darrell Bevell, and that is a player issue by Matthew Stafford. You got to shore up and utilize this guy down the stretch if you want to be a good football team. Good teams use good players. You see that throughout the NFL, point blank period. Again, they continue to use Adrian Peterson when they should be using more of DeAndre Swift. Why is this taking place? I don't know. But that is an issue with, again, Darrell Bevell here. If you want to be a good football team, you utilize the best players on the field and you make them play more. DeAndre Swift should be having 20-plus attempts. It's unacceptable to be under that. He's a game changer. He has shown it time again. He is really making this offense much better. When he's on the field, the defense reacts. And I have seen nothing to assume that they're actually going to stick with that. So, to me, a good team would adapt to understand that. And obviously, the defensive line, they had a better showing this game, but we've seen through the Minnesota Vikings getting torched with 275 yards rushing on the ground. And this was just barely a football team that's breathing. They're going to be a top 5 draft pick. So, the defensive line has got to get better stopping the run and continue to getting pressure on the quarterback. We'll see going forward, though. It's a good win. It's a good feeling, and I don't want to pour sour on the win, but let's be realistic here, and I don't want to blow smoke up people's 2 points of contact. I'm going to try to be as real as humanly possible. With that said, folks, we got the Panthers preview, 10:30 in the morning on Wednesday. We got the live Q&A show, One Pride Podcast on Thursday, 6:30, and 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the live watch party, Detroit Lions and Carolina Panthers. Adios.